This is a forensic comparison microscope. It's also called a bullet comparison microscope, and it has top ports for photography and video. It has fiber optic illumination with a light source in the base, and it has the two stages with a halogen light, separate halogen light, has objectives, and it has a bridge. The bridge can be used, this knob on the bridge can be used to change the view. You can overlap a view, you can take all of the image to one side or all of the image to the other side, or you can have a split view where you're having half of one specimen and the other half of a different specimen, and compare them side by side. Beginning at the top, the back port is for a 35mm or an SLR digital. This is a DSL, digital SLR, Canon EOS Rebel XS. This is the adapter that comes with the microscope. This is a T adapter that's on the top. Here's another T adapter. These T adapters match to the camera. If you want really high resolution, really good quality imaging, the DSL camera is the way to go. This port is for the video. By the way, this is a trinocular lever that will take the light to the back camera port. It does not affect the video port. The video port gets light all the time. The video port has two different adapters. This is a C-mount adapter. You attach a C-mount camera directly to the top threads. This gives you a photo tube. You might stick a USB digital camera to one of these. Sometimes they're called eyepiece cameras. They connect directly to a laptop computer. This microscope has interpupillary distance adjustment. That's for the distance between a user's eyes. You can adjust. It also has a diopter adjustment on both eyepieces. That's so that if your right eye is in focus and your left eye is not in focus, then you turn these diopters so that they're both in focus at the same time. The microscope has 10x and 20x eyepieces. These are the 10x, wide field 10x with a 22mm field of view, high eye point. That's the symbol for the eyeglasses, so that a user with eyeglasses can easily use this microscope. These are the 20 power eyepieces. They're very easy to interchange. The 20 power eyepieces will double the magnification compared to a 10 power eyepiece set. This adjusts the separation line. Turning it one direction will give you the whole image on the right side. Turning it the other direction far enough will give you the whole image on the left side. Turning it in between those points will give you a split image, and it depends on if you want half of the right side or half the left side or a quarter on the left side, 3/4 on the right side. That's where you adjust this separation line. You can also adjust it so that you have an overlapping position where both images are simultaneously in the eye path. Sometimes when you do the overlapping, you may want to use filters. The microscope comes with some filters. You may want to put a red filter on one side and maybe a green filter on the other side, so it's real easy to tell and keep them separate. Filters simply set into place on these light boxes. We also have polarizing filters on this microscope. You have an analyzer and you have a polarizer. They work in conjunction. They both have a polarizing lens. Remember, polarizing light takes the wavelength and lets wavelength of only one direction pass. So you may have an analyzer that may be passing light of one direction. You may have a polarizer passing it the other direction. If you turn those to where they're 90 degrees, then you have light extinction. You still have light really going through, but at that point you can see a lot of features better, more clear, with a lot better contrast. Specifically, surfaces that are smooth and have scratches on them, you can detect those scratches much easier. This analyzer fits in to the bottom part of the objectives. It screws into place. The top ring screws it into place, and the bottom ring is what's used to adjust the polarization angle. So looking through the eyepieces with a polarizing lens, on this light, don't use this light, it doesn't have polarization. You've got a polarizing filter here, an analyzer at this point. You can adjust the two for best contrast on the specimen. You've got the polarizing feature that goes on both. These light boxes are adjustable. They can also be removed and placed on the top. Just depends on what your preference is. Also, you can rotate this box if you're worried about your filters falling out. There's screws on this side and there's screws on this side. Undo these screws and rotate the box 180 degrees if you want to mount the light on this position.